Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I've shot this video. It's a video on how to change the rear brake pads on a 2004 Toyota Camry. Nothing to it really, but I decided to make this video because there was no video out there in the YouTube universe showing specifically on how to change the 2004 Camry rear brake pads. So here goes. Hope you enjoy and it's helpful. Thanks a lot for watching. Okay, so this is what it looks like when we undid the bolt and push this brake cylinder out of the way. And right now, obviously taken out the tire, and this is what it looks like, the rear brake cylinder on a 2004 Camry, on my car at least. So just the bottom bolt, 17 mm there. The top one is acting like a swivel. So the entire brake cylinder swivels out of the way when we undo that bolt, which was just in the image. Okay, so I will be using a 17 mm socket to show you. Yeah, I'll use that 17 mm socket with that to undo that bolt. It's a bolt pin combination really. That's the socket. So if you just need to change the brake pads and do nothing else, all you need to do, or all I needed to do, was undo that 17 mm bolt, swivel this brake cylinder out of the way, remove the brake pads, and do everything back in reverse until it's all fixed together. Right. So before I undo the bolt, there is a trick. We can push back the cylinder. Just show you. If you don't have a C-clamp, if you don't have a proper tool to push back this piston, I mean, we can use a screwdriver, a strong screwdriver, and using this technique, push that piston back. Of course, my screwdriver did bend when I did this, but there were no scratches. It's quite strong, right? Pushed out of the way. And anyways, even if you don't want to use this technique to push it back entirely, we have to push it back a little bit so that it can swivel up easily, right? So this is that bolt pin which goes into the rubber boot and screws into place. And here is the brake cylinder which is swiveling up. And those are the brake pads. With just that one bolt, and you can access your brake pads, the rear brake pads at least. So the outboard pad removed first, just comes out, right? And then the inboard one just comes out. And I did not remove the brake pad supports. They look to be in very good condition, and they're original Toyota anyway. And I could not find original Toyota brake pad support clips. So I just cleaned, with brake pad cleaner. And that was all, which is what I'm showing you right now. clean this pin bolt again using brake pads cleaner. Okay, so this thing goes back into the rubber boot. So we need to grease this pin and grease the rubber boot, which is what I'm going to show you next. So again, filming with one hand, and of course, this is what happened. Thankfully, it stayed on the rag, even though everything looks filthy, and it is definitely very filthy. But yeah, there was no dirt on that pin. So just a little bit grease so that it can slip inside that rubber boot. Keep it. Yeah. Next, the pads.
Right.
Now, these are the pads which I got. Now, they are not Toyota, they're aftermarket. So I don't have the part numbers for it, but they do fit because I used an app which arranges parts for this car or any other car for that matter. So yes, it did fit. As you can see, just slide it into place. It should just slide in, and it should be able to move inside I mean, while it's sitting on those clips. So the outboard one put in first, and then the inboard one. There it is. Obviously, the pad facing the disc, just like that. I didn't attempt any further cleaning except for putting a little bit cleaning that rubber boot and putting some grease inside. So again, using brake parts cleaner to do the cleaning, and then I'll grease, put a little bit of grease inside, and it should be good to go. There you go. Little bit of grease. I use wheel bearing grease, uh, suitable for the job. That's it. Basically, the pin bolt combo thing just should just slip into that boot without any problem. So push back that pin, push in the pin. If it's difficult like it is right now, just pull up on the cylinder, brake cylinder, I mean, till it goes in completely. And then we can push it back in again and screw in place. Okay, so I tightened that bolt to 43 Newton meter and put back the tire, and it was good to go. Of course, it wasn't good to go. We need to do a few more things. One thing I want to talk about is be sure whenever you're doing a brake job, like changing the brake pads, we are pushing back that piston. Before we do that, we need to go to the brake master cylinder under the hood, undo that cap, still keep it on top so that no dust goes in, dust or moisture. Moisture, yeah, this if there is moisture in there, yeah, it will go in, but at least the dust won't go in. But keep it loose so that when we are pushing back that piston, the liquid inside the brake master cylinder will be pushed up. So keep an eye on it. Ideally, when the brake pads they grind down and they become thin, the fluid inside the master cylinder does go down. And we are not supposed to top up the master cylinder with fresh fluids and keep it at the max level. We're supposed to let it be in that level, because when we're pushing back that piston, the liquid will be pushed back up and it will not spill out of that master cylinder. So this is very important. If we don't undo that cap, then there is a danger of air coming into the system, especially if you don't bleed your brake after doing a brake job. Again, you must bleed your brakes when you do your brake job, but you can get away with not doing on that same day, especially if you're doing a DIY, especially if you're not taking the car out. Um, you know, you can do it later. But if you're a mechanic, of course, you're supposed to bleed the brakes as well. But if don't undo that cap, air will definitely enter the system and there'll be a big trouble as well. So that's number one. Number two is so the second part is after you've done the brake job, change the pads, put back the tires, torque them down, and you're ready to start driving the first time, taking it out of the garage. So before you do that, before you even start the car, pump the brake pedal, because the first time you do, it will go right down to the floor. So what's basically happening is you push back that piston and pumping the brake pedal a few times, about six, seven, 8 times, maybe even 12 times, will force that piston to sit snug, tight against the new brake pads which have just been put. So if you forget to do that, you back out your car and you want to stop the car because you're about to hit something, you press the brakes, it's going to go to the floor, the car will not stop. All right. So this is what everybody says. Of course, I have never experienced that because I always listen to good advice. I hope you do the same. So pump the brakes, then start the car. And just to be safe, go ahead just a little bit or reverse just a little bit and test the brakes before you can drive out at speed. And that's about it. So yeah, hope the video was helpful. If you did like, help me out and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, write in the comment box. I hope you can subscribe as well if you like my channel and my videos are helpful. So until the next one, bye.